Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all those outside the binary. It's a Friday night. You know what that means. It's time for some Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament action. Tonight, we have a race in the Cerberus pod between Sledge and Krelen. My name is Shattered Flames. I'm joined in the booth tonight by someone who has one of the more unique nicknames in the Discord server and one that I particularly like, Nightmare Phoenix. Hey, Nightmare, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Shadowed. I'm excited for this matchup. How are you doing?
Can't complain too much. Bit chilly, bit rainy, but that's typical East Coast weather this time of year.
I will not disclose where I'm at because you will probably want to kill me afterwards. Because it's bright, it's sunny, it's hot. It is beautiful weather outside.
And that probably means you have a cost of living that exceeds mine, but let's not get into politics tonight, shall we?
No, let's talk about what we got going on the screen right now. We got two similar yet different strategies for party selection going in here.
Yes. On the left, Sledge is doing a typical fighter rainbow setup. Pardon me. On the right, excuse me, I apparently don't have my directions down pat. Krelen is doing the same thing, but the white mage has been swapped out for a black belt. That party composition is a little bit unique.
At the same time, it does offer him a lot of versatility. If he finds a great grind tile early that he can easily take, turn it into a black belt seed. If he just picks up a lot of amazing gear, turn it into a fighter seed. The added benefit here is fighters have level 1 white spells. So they already have half of their, or a third, I guess, of their night magic right off the bat. So hopefully they find something good in the white magic shop in Corneria.
It's actually just a little bit more than a third of it, because night spells, they lose one for white mage exclusivity. With this blurs, they get all 4 level 1 spells, so that'll make things a little bit more interesting.
The rest of our blessings is kind of interesting. There's no thieves, so we don't have to worry about that. Oh, and we're off. Black belt's got 40 agility, red mage 15 MDef, white mage 10% hit, and the black mage 15 strength. Life 2 in the white magic shop. And we got lightning 2 and warp on level 1 black. Not a bad start, I think.
Have to give me just a second. My tracker is giving me a little bit of fit, so let me try to refresh it.
And the timer isn't running.
That's how I know there's an issue.
Haha. I'm starting to believe that, yes, indeed, tonight is slightly cursed. But, we'll roll with it. Got some wood +2 on Krelen. And first up into Topher, we got wolves, which aren't that scary, and Krelen of getting the bridge boss out of the way, it looks like, and trying to take some early fights to get some money.
Not a bad idea. Plus, it lets you get an idea of what sort of encounter table you're going to be dealing with.
I haven't seen anything ugly yet. And
you said the key words, yet.
Yep. Commentators curse already. Maybe. And Sledge, first one taking on Garland. Garland not wanting to go down. Garland with poison. Damage poison. And Sledge has white.
What was that you said about...
Yep. Nothing ugly yet. I found it. Sorry, guys.
And for the chat, yes, we are aware that the time is not running. I'm having an issue with the tracking link that I was sent. It's not working for me. So I'm trying to keep track of everything manually here. And as soon as I get something that actually works on this end, I'll get everything updated. Just be advised that there are only two of us in the booth tonight. It's just Nightmare and myself, and I'm pulling double duty. So if I sound a little bit frazzled by about 35 minutes, you all know why.
It's okay. I'll pick up the slack. I got this. I know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. We got Krelen in on Garland and about to see if Garland is going to pull out the poison trump card. He doesn't get a chance to, as Krelen makes short work of him. And we got our gong from the king. That's our lute with multi-instruments, instrumentalist Sarah, and Oxio from Sarah herself.
Oh, yes, a gong. Okay, let's see, this just redeemed itself.
I like the jingle because it makes me wonder if it's a actual instrument or just a catchy little tune that you can't get it out of your head. Like once you pop, the fun don't stop.
I've seen a ditty. I consider that the tune you carry around in your head, and the jingle is like the actual jingle bells.
Oh, I'll go with it.
Of course, I'm waiting for a seed where I roll a piano or an organ for my instrument. Because let's face it, no well-meaning warrior should be having to carry around something that size all over the world.
I had to do it in a seed not long ago, and yeah, it took me a couple hours. I think if I had something simple like a triangle, it would have been a much faster seed. Also, the moving cost would have been far cheaper.
Oh yeah. So Sledge bounces off of Garland again, so he's going to come back to him later. Not that I blame him.
It's definitely a good idea. Go visiting Provoca and seeing what Bicky has. Speaking of Bicky, Krelen now activating his fight against the pirates.
And Sledge pretty much in lockstep with him.
Krelen got the magic off first, so he'll be just a couple seconds ahead. And Bicky has a ship because it's what we expected.
Something. Is this even randomized?
Yeah, that was my thought exactly. All right, well, I'm going to pull up my own notepad here.
Yeah, not a bad idea. I mean, I'll keep the notes in Discord like I normally do, but anything you want to jot down for, say, post-race, hey, more power to you.
Good old paper and pencil, just like old D&D times, which this game essentially is. And we got Exit and Harm 4 for White Magic level 2.
And then a couple of good sweeper spells with Fire 3 and Ice 3 at level 2, along with Quake. No item shop item just yet, so we're still looking for that.
Looks like Krelen might be going down to visit Elfland real quick. He's dropping tents like it's hot, trying to make sure he avoids anything too nasty.
Well, given how Garland started this seed off, I don't blame him. Let's see, level 3 magic.
Fast Bane.
Fast is the best of the lot. Bane's not bad.
And it looks like Sledge is making his way back to Garland for round 3.
And then White Magic, heal 3 in that fourth slot is about the only thing worth writing home about.
All right, Krelen picking up Bane on a couple people just in case it comes in handy. And Sledge managing to get through a one of the encounters in Toph, and he's just gonna whip out that Fire and Ice 3 on Garland. So he's not long for this world.
That works much better when you have more damaging spells. I guess now he's going to go up and check the items up in the northwest.
With exit on the White Mage second level, we might want to keep the White Mage alive just to get out of dungeons faster. Was that an Ice +3 in the chest?
I was looking over at the other screen, so I missed it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, now Sledge is going to grab his loot and Oxio from the princess. That's true. The Red Mage can get the exit and warp. So yeah, probably just down the White Mage. Unless he feels hard pressed for some reviving later on. Krelen taking his first steps into Marsh.
Yeah, I'm not certain about that. Life 2 is Red Mage learnable in that first slot. So at this point, drop the White Mage, go 3-man would probably be my bet. Maybe pick up Life 2 on that White Mage for when you revive it. It can go ahead and revive everyone else if need be. No, Gloom, you're good. Sledge has a White Mage in his party, so you're on track.
We're all getting through this together. Sledge also grabbing Bane from the magic shop. Silver +2 shield is not too shabby early on.
Yeah, that's one of your better defensive items. Heal helmet +3, and
not gonna keep it.
I don't blame him.
That was not worth it, and so he's just gonna go downstairs and see what kind of trouble he can get into down here.
I don't blame him. I mean, you're going to find an elemental shield later for the most part, and your head slot's usually going to be reserved for a ribbon, so that heal helmet doesn't do you much good.
They're doing a really simple, basic, open party kind of game here. Nothing crazy. Ooh, and floater located in Marsh for Krelen.
Well, I think this seed just got significantly faster.
I'd say. Let's hope Sledge decides to hit up Marsh soon then. And we have grips on our Martians. Old Marsh incentive chest trap tile and a katana -1. So we found a money stick. As far as our blessings go, the fighter gets level 1 white spells. Black belt gets +40 agility. And that's really it. Everything else kind of rolled blah. Except the white mage does have +10% chance to hit, so Sledge shouldn't need that with that party, but you never know. He might decide to give that white mage a hammer and get to smashing.
10%, probably not going to be much. I'd be more interested if it had +1% per level, because that effectively is going to double the white mage's hit chances throughout, and that would be a little bit more useful than just a paltry 10%.
Krelen making his way back to the boat. Or no, he's headed to Crescent.
Yeah, he just picked up the floaters, so naturally he's going to go turn that in. I do not blame him. Get in the air as fast as you can. That makes traveling a lot faster.
Up and over to Crescents. Let's see what the sages have.
I know we don't have a timer, but we'll call it roughly 12 and a half minutes for floater to be turned into the airship.
I just
Tier
realized
4
the
and
race.
Fade at 6 white, and not much of interest at 6 black. And just a canal from the old men.
Who needs a canal when you got an airship?
I'm certain we all can think of at least one boat who could use a bigger canal, but let's not go there.
And that's a chime for Krelen from Sarda.
All right, so seed's starting to open up a little bit here. If you're Krellen, do you agree with this armory play in the volcano, or do you just go somewhere else and try to get some more incentives?
I think right now hitting that armory is probably a really good idea. You'll be able to get an idea of what possible grind tiles you might have in here, and you do get a chance to get something that might be great for your fighter. It's a good idea to do it because then you can decide if you're going to keep the black belt up or the fighter up, because you want to decide that as early as you possibly can, so you don't end up trying to juggle the two all the way to the end game and then realize you have nothing to play with. And we got a Coral +4. So that's going to carry us to something better.
Yeah, Coral +4 is a nice weapon to have early game.
I honestly would not be surprised if he just lets that black belt hold up the floor. Sledge also checking out Marsh and finding his floater too.
All right, sorry about that. Got pulled away to set up a quick food order.
That's all good.
Alright, so Sledge is probably going to make a beeline for the Recon Desert here. Pags of Wolves aside.
And it looks like Krelen's going to attempt to grind out some of these airs.
That is a bold strategy, especially at level 9. I mean, yes, Ice 3 is probably your best weapon you have available against them, but they still hit like a Mack truck.
Oof. Not only that, but if I recall, airs tend to have a much higher evasion, so trying to punch him down is not going to be easy. But fortunately, he manages to have enough spells to get through.
Yeah, at this point, I'd get out of here, go somewhere a little bit safer, and with enemies that aren't as hard hitting, and try to come back to it later.
That definitely sounds like a great idea. Ooh, our houses are a little bit on the pricier side, pricier than you would hope to see.
Well, that explains why I can't get any real estate on my own.
It is definitely not free real estate. Sledge traversing the river system. He's going to make a stop in Crescent before he makes his way down to the desert.
Yep, Krelen's heading in the ice cave.
This is a good play.
I mean, a level 10 to 12 is still a touch dodgy for me, but you've got some good sweeper spells. You should be able to get away with it.
Absolutely. And then if he can manage to get down into the depths of ice safely, he can scope out and see what kind of interesting tiles he has to choose from in here. And because he does have warp, getting out is going to be far easier than going in.
Yeah, if he picked up exit for his red mage at level 2, which I don't recall right off the top of my head if he did or not, that'll be even easier because then you don't have to worry about warp tricking your way back up. You just find your incentive and book it.
Absolutely.
And speaking of the warp trick, here you go. We're defying gravity and
Rod in the incentive chest. Granted,
oh, that's easy enough to find.
That's pretty simple. But I imagine he's going to stay down here for a little bit, check more boxes, check more tiles.
Yeah, you got about 3 or so more trap tiles to look at. So if you get lucky, find something that you can grind on, well, you can get yourself locked in.
And again, I'm probably going to... they're probably going to hate me for saying this. So far, nothing too scary in here.
Didn't we learn our lesson at the Temple of Fiends already? Come on now.
We never learn anything here. Besides, with the rate that this seed's going, they need a little bit more challenge. Fast is in Elfland. I don't think Temper's been seen yet.
I can confirm, since I do my usual pre-race rating of the seed, Temper has not been found yet, but we may be about to. Spoilers.
Aha! Just take out an innocent little girl, and we got Nuke, Quadex, and Temper in Melmond. Ooh, hello fighters on Krelen's side.
Okay, that's doable.
Well, it looks like they don't like the black belt too much.
It was doable until Fire 3.
Fortunately, we do have Life 2 on level 1, so easy enough to pick them back up and go back in for another round.
And meanwhile, over on the left, Sledge is going to be the first person to make an ordeal display.
Our first look at ordeals. What are we hoping to see in here? Because right now we have loot, we have a rod, we have an oxale and a chime.
For my money, just give me the start of a long fetch quest so I can get that done and out of the way, and then everything else would just be gravy from there. Like, I don't know, give me the TNT to the adamant to the bottle to the herb to the key. Let's just knock out 5 items at once and be done with it.
Absolutely. However, I think it's going to be a little bit more of the vanilla that we've seen already with Bicky and the ship, and I think it's going to be a tail. We've got Frosties over on Krelen's side with Slow.
Oh man, now I want Wendy's.
Are you one of those people who dip their French fries in their chocolate Frosty?
No, I am not. I have tried it. It does nothing for me, so y'all can have it.
Yeah, I'm not on board with that either. Sledge making his way, and he finds the way up top.
That seemed rather quick, so that's good. This grind tile, not so much.
That's scary. Oh. And he steps off the tile instead of stepping forward, which means now he has to go back through it again.
That might just be on-stream jitters. Oh, he does get a ribbon for his trouble.
Ooh. We're checking Krelen's side. He's checking the Hall of Giants. Some Gerduses. I blinked and I missed what was on that first tile.
Probably not anything interesting. More likely we'll see here in just a minute.
Mancats blocking the path and ordeals. Ice 3 not gonna do it. I do believe they're weakest to fire. But he manages to squeak by. And he hits level 10 for the first time. Gerduces are a really good grind. And because he switched the black belt down, it looks like we found our grind, ladies and gentlemen, and pals of the non-binary type.
Yep. I could see him keeping his 3 alive here for a few more levels. Maybe get those 3 to roughly 18 or 19, and then slowly dropping them off and letting the black belt soak up everything. We find a cube in ordeals.
So now we got a chime, we got a cube. We can absolutely go down and see if we can get some grind some levels out of the desert before we hop into Mirage and check some boxes in there.
For my money, it's still a little bit early to be going all gung-ho on Sky, but that's why I'm in the booth and I'm not playing. It's not like I know anything.
Well, I too have a difficult time with my seeds, so. Yeah, as I mentioned before, our tracker website is currently not functioning. So we have no tracker. We're trying to do it the old-fashioned way with notes. Ooh! Demon lets us know that it's up and he's trying to get it fixed. Demon is MVP of the day for us here. Fighting this Friday night craziness, indeed. Alright, we finally got our fighter down.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and handle it, Demon. I've got everything written down here. Thanks. And just know it's fully appreciated.
We truly appreciate it. This has been quite a crazy night. The red mage up front would be an interesting idea. However, the red mage is your other source of life. Yeah, it looks like it's time to jump down into the depths of Earth because Krelen does have the rod, I do believe. So he's gonna go visit Lich and give him the 1-2. Sledge finally making his way into ice. He's about to find out that the rod is right there.
Yep. I think we've got everything up to date here on the tracker. If we missed anything, we'll fill it back in as we can. It's showing up on my end as being correct. I don't know why it's not updating on the stream yet. So let's give us a second to break out the sledgehammers and try to beat it into submission. We'll see what we can do for you.
And there's Sledge with his rod. And werewolves and gerwolves, they've been pretty nasty in my experience the last couple days. But it looks like they didn't roll anything crazy. So they're just annoying today.
Well, just being annoying is better than having them have something deadly, usually showing up in packs of 6 or more.
Crack, Quad X, Zap, those are all things you don't want to see on a pack of wolves. Of any variety.
Not to mention, you also don't want to see things that target either your entire party or their entire party. Wolves with Invis 2, you're going to be sitting there for a hot minute before you actually get a chance to run.
Haha! And that quick flicker means our tracker's back up. Thank you so much. We're back off to the races. Phoenix FF29 with the continued puns.
Back on track? Maybe, but at least I'm not back in black. It's not my color.
Yeah, it's also DMCA and all that.
Ah, details.
We got Grimps with Cremate. Apparently, I missed that script earlier. And it's not great when there's 4 of them. Our Black Mage barely making it out with his life.
I found from, I want to say this is about my 6th or 7th race I've tracked in this spring tournament, and Gurrents are actually one of the enemies that routinely seem to get the nasty stuff, so they're not an enemy to sleep on no matter what.
Krelen doing something that I almost always forget to do or intend to do, but end up walking the wrong direction and deciding, you know what, I really didn't need to look in there anyway. Checking the armory in Earth and finding not a whole lot.
Yeah, for me, Earth 4 is hit and miss. If I'm looking for gear, I'll hit it. If I've gotten to the point like I don't need anything else, I just ignore what's in the closet and what's under the bed of the vampire.
Sledge did see the fighters, but decided, you know what, I'm okay, I don't need to take care of them. All right, and we see the slab in, where are we?
That would be Gaia.
Gaia? I knew that. I was getting distracted by Lich coming up here. Just gonna fast the fighter in black belt, and we're gonna, again, give Lich the old 1-2. Fighter hitting for 51, or fighter hitting for 202. Black belt hitting for 51. Not quite the levels you want to see yet. But shouldn't take too long with this Fire 3, and down goes Lich. And Krelen with the first Orblit at 29 minutes.
This tells you how the seed's been going for me. I see the Orblit. I immediately look over to my left at the race time room to start doing math and subtract 10 minutes off of the time I see there. And forget to look at the bottom and realize, oh, hey, our time is actually working now.
The timer works again. Krelen going ahead and picking up Temper and probably Nuke. And probably Quad X, maybe? Maybe not.
No, you can't do Nuke because that's in the vanilla warp slot, so that's promotion locked.
Oh, no. You learn something new every day, folks. And what I've learned is Krelen is probably going to find that tail and make a beeline to get promoted.
I wouldn't go that far, because remember, he's got a black belt. You promote early, you lose magic defense on that black belt.
That is true. He's still keeping the full party up, so we don't know what his direction's going to be for the end game. Is he going to go with fighter strats or black belt strats?
Safe money's probably on black belt. They've been overpowering in the pod so far this tournament, so I don't see any reason why that wouldn't continue here.
I think you're very much correct in that. There was a running tally of fighters over black belts going, and I do believe the black belts are still significantly in the lead.
I honestly would be very surprised if they weren't at this point.
All right. Krelen touching down in Gaia. All seeds are black belt seeds, says Brent Reynolds. Looks like Krelen's going to go get that slab translated, which Sledge is already on his way turning it in.
And survey says
White shirt, +1. Yeah.
Just literally took the shirt right off the Lefinian's back.
Well, they're they with the recent hospitality, they've decided that if the Light Warriors need the shirt off their back, they are there to give it to them. Krelen checking Cardia aisles, see if they have anything good.
While this might look good on the surface with free chests and whatnot, I'm not
Bane Sword.
I might have just had my words taken from me there because I was just about to say I'm not certain I agree with this play, and lo and behold, there's a Bane Sword.
So, commentators bless there, I suppose?
Fates know we need it, so yeah, let's go with that.
Copper bracelet +1, not ideal. He's just going to reset out of that and see what the Plains hole has. I don't think I'm ever going to refer to the Plains Island like that again.
Please don't.
We find a free gold bracelet. Rolled a -3, but it's still pretty decent for our mages.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the best thing you get on them for a while, unless Opal rolled like -5, and even then, I think Opal might be a touch better.
And it looks like Sledge is also making the same plays at Cardia. It looks like our path deviation is starting to come back into line as Krelen is making his way over to Ordeals. He's going to find his cube, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he decides now's a good time to walk through Carrie and then go visit the Sky Temple.
This portion of the scene is brought to you by the Melmond Travel Agency. Come witness the tour of the islands.
Sledge with that Oxyale has decided he's going to probably hit Waterfall and Onrack now and see what the Sea Shrine has to offer.
I would still be a little bit cautious about levels and gear at this point. If I'm going into Sea Shrine, I want to make a run up the right side, check up through mermaids, and then if I've got my key item, then I might come back to Kraken. Otherwise, you run the risk of just beating your head off of it a few times.
Absolutely. That's a very solid point. However, there is a chance that he might find something tasty to snack on while in Waterfall.
Well, the last seed that I watched had Agamas on the Waterfall grind tile, so can't get much better than that. We can hope for the same.
Agamas or sandwiches, either way, that would be a nice tile to find right now.
Sandwiches. Alright, Krelen is about to come across his cube here at about 2 or 3 chests.
And there it is, Krelen picking up his cube. Right now, our runners have all the same key items, with the exception of Krelen with an Orblet, as he runs into a small pack of badmen.
Oh, that's certainly one way to guard the throne out.
Badmen and Evilmen are two mobs that I'm familiar with in the vanilla, but it's been so long. What are they weak to? Because it looks like Fire 3 is doing the trick. However, every time I try to Fire 3 them, they take 50 damage and just laugh at me.
Oh, that's just confirmation bias kicking in.
Very likely. And in Waterfall, we have a Wiz Sahag Great Shark grind, which is not great, since these guys typically like to be very ambushy. And I don't think anyone has any kind of lightning spell that's worthwhile, so this might not be a fight worth taking.
I just went and looked it up because I wasn't certain of the answer myself. Badman and Evilmen do not have any specific weaknesses, but Evilmen are resistant to status, poison, and death. So they could have just rolled high magic defense against you.
You know what? That could be it. And Krelen finds some steak on his side. Steak happens to be his favorite enemy. Meanwhile, Sledge has decided running away is a better option here. And finding a pro ring +2. And the robot has a bottle.
Are we certain that the robot isn't from Futurama and we caught him mid-drink?
I'm going to go ahead and say yes to that. It gave me quite some pause, so I had to think.
Well, we are on the Chaos Comedy Tour. I have to try to find some way to get someone to laugh.
With the shenanigans that the flags have been throwing at us lately, it's impossible not to find some laugh. And Sledge is going to get some waterfall grinds. Ooh, nightmares with stone touch or glance. I'm not sure if they looked at him funny or touched him funny. Either way, that fighter was not moving, but fortunately, he packs some softs. Krelen finding some gas dragons. Some gas dargons, or as someone politely told me, that is Dr. Argon.
Whoever told you that must be mistaken. There's an extra R in their name. Dr. Agon is how I always learned it.
Ah, yes. Dr. Agon. That makes more sense. Mostly because they tend to spread agony. Krelen finding some...
Okay, that's a good one.
Finding some Mummy and Wiz Mummy pack. And he's also going to grab his bottle. Sledge in Sea Shrine. Gonna check a couple of the first floor chests. And find a replacement soft.
And he's going down the left side, so is this going to be a Kraken run, or is he just looking for items at this point?
I'm a big fan of taking the right path, unless I am confident that I can take out Kraken.
I'm with you on that one, so he must think he's got the ability to do it. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Krelen making his way down to possibly on rack 2. Yep, there he goes. Chopping a couple cabins to make sure that he gets there nice and safe. Restocking on heal pots. And buying many houses. Krelen's gonna have his own Disneyland project going on here soon. Is Krelen's going to the right side so far?
Oh, slight route divergence here, but now we'll see which side pays off better.
Well, hopefully we can find out what the level difference between the two different parties is. But just looking at the amount of health on Krelen's side, I think Krelen has the higher level party. Sledge somewhere around the 15s.
Yeah, his two surviving party members there just hit 15 off of that last battle.
Krelen with what seems to be a much more well-rounded party as he runs into a full pack of Sahags before removing all of the Wizard Sahag's friends and then running away.
This is where I would make a quip about Brave Sir Robin running away, but none of the party members are named that.
In the future, I will be naming at least one party member Robin. Probably a thief. And we're checking the good old C incentive chest. And we don't find a whole lot. Krelen going to warp out and go ahead and finish clearing out that side.
That's actually a good idea. That's something I should probably start implementing in my runs. Because normally I just make the walk back.
I do too. I would probably warp around or clear out everything but the incentive first, and then do the warp. Flame 2 armor on Krelen's side. So at least the fighter has something to wear.
And that's a good pickup.
And a basic dragon sword. Which,
with what you already have, I don't think that's going to get much use, but you could always throw it out the window in Sky just for giggles.
well, he does have a red mage, so I think the red mage can swing a coral sword. I might be wrong.
I'm fairly certain. I'm going to actually double check that in my custom-made spreadsheet now, just because I'm drawing a blank.
If that's the case, if the dragon sword is about equal to that coral sword, I'd probably give the coral sword to the red mage, and at least when I run out of spells, I can get really punch happy or stab happy.
Yes, Red Mage can equip the Coral Sword, and with it being +4, that's going to be better than your Dragon Sword. So, yeah, Dragon Sword's just nothing but trash at this point.
Glorified money stick, and Krelen finding nothing on the mermaid side. So he's now on his way to the Kraken side of things. Whereas Sledge, I must have blinked real hard because he's now in Earth. Oh, the mermaids had crystal.
We lost our feed here for about half a second. That's probably the one chest next to the flame armor that we missed.
That would explain it. All right.
For those of you just tuning in, this has been a seed. That is all. And jokes aside, once I get a couple extra notes jotted down as Krelen finds another ribbon in the Sharknado room, we'll try to give everyone a brief recap of whereabouts we are 45 minutes in.
Forgive me, my cat decided he wanted my attention very, very much so. So I had to relocate him.
That's better than me. If it's my cat, I'll usually pick him up and coddle him like a baby until he gets tired of me rubbing his belly. So, there you go.
And Krelen about to go visit Kraken. And I think he stands a chance. Whether that chance is good or not, I am uncertain. It looks like he might try to bane Kraken down.
That's going to be a bold strategy. I mean, he does have a Bane sword, I think. Yep, there it is. So,
Fire 2, chunking a lot of life out of his party.
I mean, the black belt is dealing about 100 damage there, so he could damage him down. It's just a question of what's going to...
Bane Sword did it.
Okay, Kraken, would you mind letting me get a word in edgewise here?
So that Bane Sword coming in clutch. There you go, Krelen. I was just like, man, after taking out Kraken, I'd probably want to save. Like immediately. That's 2 orbs for Krelen at the 46-minute mark. And he is making his way over to...
Probably Matoya.
I wanted to say Volcano, but definitely Matoya to go turn in that crystal. I would have walked through Volcano real fast and said hello to Carrie on my way to Matoya. Matoya doesn't have anything in the box, nothing on her table, but she does have a crown.
Well, I did call a rather long fetch quest earlier. We might be getting it.
Sledge is getting his grind on these wonderful Gerduces. And everybody, get your hellos to Astus in now, because he won't be standing there for much longer. And there he goes, folks. Leaving behind an herb. And that's just a short hop and a skip over to Elflin to turn it in. And if this herb turns into a ruby, that would be probably the most upsetting end to that fetch quest ever.
That would be a zonk to end all zonks, that's for certain.
We get
We're
adamant.
still going.
Your wish has been granted, Shadow. We have a exceptionally long fetch quest.
Well, this is about to be step number 6 in the fetch quest chain. So let's see what happens here.
We just have some money in the dwarf box. We got some hooray action in there. And it ends in a power bonk. +4. Arguably pretty good. I'm quite happy with having a power bonk, and it looks like the bonk is going to make its home on our black belt. Krelen popping the fairy, now off to turn that in. His GPS was updating. But first, here's that volcano play.
All right. Now that I've got some stuff updated as Carlin's making his way through the volcano, let's try to give a recap of what we've missed in the last 49 minutes for those of you who are just tuning in or came in late and is wondering just what in the blue heck is going on here. So, for starters, Garland had damage poison, so that was your first big obstacle with the seed. Dropping Garland would give you the Oxio from Sarah and the loot from the King. The Oxio is the start of a 6-part fetch quest that we just saw ended with the Power Bonk. The Oxio to the Crystal and Mermaids, to the Crown, to the Herb, to the Adamant, to the Power Bonk. The slab was our shop item in Gaia that turned into the white shirt. We had the bottle that was found in the waterfall that's yet to be turned in to see where that goes. We are still missing the key, which is the only major item that we still need. We have everything else that's essential. We're also missing the tail and the TNT and the ruby, but who cares about the ruby?
Krellen finding an Excal -5 up in the corner volcano chest. There's probably a name for that room, but I don't know it.
The really, really out of the way room is what I call it.
Sledge finding 3 blue dragons. And
Apathy.
I don't know if I'd want to take that. They are a bit squishy, though.
And we have our third ribbon sighting in that out of the way room in Volcano, right next to the track tile.
There it is. So we got all 3 ribbons spotted and collected by Krellen.
Well,
and it looks like Sledge is going to grind some bluties.
All Krellen needs to do now is get that black belt to 42, and with the other 3 ribbons are in, that's going to be a pretty much invulnerable party until Nuclear shows up.
He just has to make that decision as to dropping that fighter so the black belt can squeeze some more XP. And we're down to Carrie floor, and it looks like we're just going to go visit Carrie. Run into a random lone Agama.
Here's today's Agama fact. Agamas are known to smell like pineapples.
That sounds delicious. But also terrifying because they're lizards and they're giant. So, and it looks like we're doing some. Gonna go with just straight up punchy strats against Carrie.
Oh, Gary does hit rather hard there. Took out about half of the fighter's health in one go, and now the fighter's down to a knee. So, uh, at 100 or so a pop, this might take another round or two. We just have to hope that the fighter stays alive through it.
Our fighter, the only one doing any real significant damage currently. Black Belt just can't seem to get those crits in yet. And there we go. Fighter cleans up. And that's 3 out of 4 orbs lit for Krelen.
Yep, he's still missing the key. And judging from what items we have left, I have a sinking suspicion that it's going to be locked behind the TNT. So I'm calling the key is in sky that the TNT's in sky that leads to the key. The bottle turns into the tail.
I think it's going to be the opposite. I think the bottle is going to give us the TNT that's going to lead us to the key, and the tail is in sky. But we'll see.
That actually makes more sense.
Oh, just straight up key from the bottle. Well, they cut out the middleman. And that
Right.
puts Krelen in essentially orb and go mode.
Yep. Get your orb, get yourself to an appropriate level, and get the going.
Sledge doesn't look that far behind him. He already did a lot of his grind. He's got most of his party up into the early 20s. Flame -1 shield. Not great.
Yeah, especially if you've already got a flame armor, you'd want the opposite shield to get the extra added effects in.
Yes, unfortunately, we have not seen any sign of the ice shield yet, or the Aegis shield for that matter.
Or the dragon armor, which would make the choice of shield rather redundant, except for whatever your absorbing gives you.
I also think we are just one Masamune away from deciding to drop the black belt and go just with fighter.
You had to say something over on Sledge's side.
Unless it rolls a -5, just like the X-Cal.
All right.
I think I'm getting pretty good at this.
Well, it does take a little bit of a knack to appropriately bless or curse the runners. So, yeah, I'll give you that.
Oh, trolls with poison. Ooh.
As if the weapons haven't been trolly enough. Come on now.
And that was just a random encounter, too.
Well, defense sword +2 in the greater than less than room. That might be useful.
Defender +2. Opal -2. Silver -3. Man, there's just flame -4. This seed did not like gear very much. This is definitely a black belt seed.
Yep, that's what I was just about to say right before we found the Mazamune, is I think we could chalk this up to being a black belt carry seed.
Yeah, I would, at this point, I would just deck out my fighter with some of the highest absorb he can possibly get, and he becomes just meat shield.
If we're asking about the Vorpal, no, we have not seen it yet. We have also not seen the Sun Sword as of yet. So that, right now, those are our two last hopes for decent fighter weapons. And Sledge gets an orb.
Lich down, orb get. At 56 minutes, Sledge is on the board with 1 orb. Wanted to see how many times I could say orb in a sentence. I got to 3.
Oh, that's about one better than my personal best, so congratulations.
Thank you. Krelen making his way through Sky, just checking boxes. I guess he's hoping for... I'm not sure what he's looking for. Just some decent armor, maybe? Opal bracelet? Like, maybe.
Better weapon than a Masamune +5.
-5?
That too.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Masamune is in Earth, I do believe.
Yep, Earth B2 down at the south, if my map reading serves me correctly. Oh, there's a
Krellen with
TNT.
TNT, which will definitely be leading to the tail.
TNT to, yeah, either Ruby or Tail, one of the two.
Well, the ruby is doesn't lead us to any incentivized items.
But it's still in the pool, so we have to account for it somewhere.
Sledge making his way through C now. Gonna go probably have fun with Kraken. And it looks like Krellen is just hitting level 21 on his fighter. So right now, both parties seem to be about the same level.
Krelen looks to be a fan, at least tonight, of left and down strats in Sky 4. I can approve. I'm normally a right and down guy myself.
I shake it up and I pick a different direction almost every time I go into it. Up and right, up and left, down and right. It changes all the time.
Just as long as you don't zigzag. Those are psychopaths.
Well, I guess I won't tell you what else I do. While Krellen finds some nachos.
I mean, if you put it in once in a while, that's fine. If you do it all the time, well, then I don't know.
Then we're going to have a whole different topic of conversation as Krellen heals up for his likelihood of running into our favorite robot chicken. Mascot of our spring tournament 2021 will we get an appearance. We got immediately 4 red hydras.
Well, decent experience, and unless they roll a low roll in the ice too, they'll go down in one shot. So not too bad. Of course, then you got this one who manages to resist 2 of them. So
And some punches. That was a very healthy hydra. Second encounter, some more air naga. And there it is, Warmech.
at least this one is runnable if you think you're going to get outclassed here. So let's see if Krelen decides to fight through it.
Warmech with some damaged sensors misses his first attack. Sledge finding a nice fight. Ooh, Lightning 3 from Warmech.
I'd rather see those elemental god level spells than anything else at this point, because you've got 3 people with ribbons. That's going to hurt significantly less than, say, your swirl or your other spells in that nature.
Ooh, Warmech has quad X, and it looks like a Opal -2 bracelet picked up on Sledge's side. And I think he grabbed something else noteworthy that escaped my mind. Oh, there goes the nuclear. And we lost just 1 party member. And then Warmech goes down. And
naturally, the 1 party member that drops is the one you probably wanted to get the experience.
That is unfortunate. However, the rest of the party survived, so your time here in Sky has not been wasted yet.
Yeah, this may end up being a fighter carry after all.
And before we run into second Warmech, nope, just air.
Why would you wish this on these guys?
I just want him to have some good experience. The black belt didn't get much of a chance to get XP. And now we got Tia 1. That is also one nuclear out of the pool. So we probably won't see that later on. At least, if we're lucky.
Well, we can hope, but Topher is the great equalizer, so it'll be interesting to see.
We're back on Bane strats on Krelen's side against Tia, as Sledge is finding some zombie bulls. And Tia with, so far, a rather tame spell list. Some ink, some darkness.
She must have known I was commentating the scene, wanted to do everything in shadows. I mean, so far it looks like the black belt is doing at least some damage, so that might be useful as we see damage poison come out.
That's the third time we've seen that, at least second. But nobody drops from it. And I don't think Tia 1 is much longer for this world.
As long as the black belt can work through the darkness and hit a couple solid times.
What's going to hit first, Bane or the black belt?
Fighter's now going to swinging his sword. Oh,
and Bane hurt. How about that?
That's twice now I've gone to say something and Bane just magically works.
You have been their guiding light in this trying time, sir. Which is surprising since you're shadowed.
There is quite a lot to unpack in that statement, so let's just move on, shall we?
Sledge is about to... Thanks, everybody. I'm here all week. Tip your waitress. Try the veal. Sledge is going to go visit Kraken 1 as Krelen goes opening up boxes in Corneria, which I think is the first time we've been in here.
Yep, it's either the ruby or the tail. I completely forgot that this was a thing.
Yeah, me too, because once you find everything you need everywhere else, you really don't need to come back and visit this place.
Yep, so that's going to mean the TNT turns into the tail, and that'll be the full list of our items.
All right. Sledge is getting ready to dodge some Kraken punches. Kraken with some fire. Sledge did not find the Bane sword, it looks like. Nice hit from the fighter there. And Krelen is on his way into Topher. He's going to check the lock chest here.
Hydra Ocho tile. Not the best grind tile, especially with Ice 2 in that. So.
Kraken with Blaze. And there goes Kraken 1, giving Sledge his second orb. So far, this is looking to be more in Krelen's favor, but it could easily sway the other direction quickly.
Yep, Sledge still has he still has that entire 6-step chain of a fetch quest to go through yet, so he picks that up. He could get back in a hurry, especially if Topher decides to roll something nasty.
Then again, if Topher does roll nasty, that'll mean Sledge will have to go through it at a much later time, but he will likely be better prepared. And down goes our black belt.
Part of me wants to think that's by design, because if you're trying to get that black belt built up some more, you don't have them in the first spot, which supposedly I emphasize that, uh, gets attacked 50% of the time. There are some members of our community who think percentages are a lie, and there are nights that I fully believe them. We may be experiencing some technical difficulties. I'm not certain. I'm getting a little bit of hiccup on my feed. I'm going to blame the actual computer until proven otherwise.
Yeah, that seems about right. Ooh, an ice +2. We finally saw it. And there's our flame armor and ice armor.
And we got a light axe out of the validation chests.
This run is a go.
I disagree. The Hooray Dwarf still lives. This run is forfeit.
Okay, you have a point there. I am on Team Slay the Dwarf.
Yep, there's a crystal. Now we see it.
Woo! I feel better now.
Agreed. Now I know I'm not going crazy. I'm already there.
Need some purple worms for Krelen.
Ooh.
He picked the black belt back up and shifted him around a little bit.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sorry. It's one of those, I don't care if I've got levels. If I see purple worms in Topher, I try to drop them no matter what, because that's still good experience. Guru Medusa Pack's going to get dropped quickly here. Sledge looks like he's going to be making his way to Matoya to continue his fetch quest, so he's about to pick up what's next.
Krelen doing all the healing. That's some great menuing. And now we got Lich 1.
Lich 2.
Lich 2. Okay. But arguably, it's still basically Lich 1 with just maybe a scary spell or two.
I can't argue that one too much. I mean, Lich is generally a speed bump anyway, until he rolls first turn nuclear and wipes you out when you're not expecting it.
Ooh, how about a third turn fire 3?
Again, those god level spells, and I've played enough of Final Fantasy where I instinctively refer to them by the later game names. So those god level spells, I still want to see, because you've got ribbons that defend against that.
Sledge getting the herb. Gonna go get that turned in. Find the adamant for his troubles. And that's gonna turn into a power bonk. Whereas Krelen has found a wonderful pack of red dragons that do not want to go down easy.
Well, if you're not going to kill the Ray Dwarf, ignoring him is at least a sensible alternative. So I'll give Sledge half credit for that.
There's still a chance. Nope, he's just gonna straight up ignore the dwarf. All right, carry 2. Fastenga, our fighter, and black belt. Nice hit from the black belt, 311. Fighter was 97. So the fighter's already starting to fall behind in the damage category. But if you're going to keep both up, it's not too bad. Worst case scenario, the fighter goes down and you lose a little bit extra, or the black belt goes down. That's absolute worst case scenario.
No, not necessarily, because Krelin's done what I was going to suggest. If you're going to keep both of them up, is stick the power bonk on the fighter. So this way you can still get your damage output increased.
That and the fighter can equip it, and at what is it, +4? That's not horrible. It's not an opal gauntlet, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, Power Bonk +4 brought you up to 10 Absorb, which is 2 above a vanilla Opal Gauntlet and actually 2 above a vanilla Pro Ring, which those hold +2 as well, so it would be about equal. So, yeah, that's probably going to be your best in slot in this seed.
And we still got that white shirt, and I think we have a defense sword floating around somewhere on somebody. As we're going into Kraken 2.
And here we go with the first real gatekeeper of pretty much any seed. Let's see how well this works.
Looks like we're going for a fast power bonk, white shirt, and temper. Ooh. Black belt already getting tossed around a little bit.
That white shirt might have been the only thing to save him there, because I think if you didn't have that one stack of evade on, that an extra hit might have gone through and done the deed.
Absolutely, especially since Kraken hits like a Mack truck on a bad day. All right, Lightning 2 not touching the party too much.
I just saw a Coral Sword hit for just shy of 1,000 damage. I've now seen it all.
Well, there you go. You just saw it swing for 10-15. And down goes Kraken.
I sit corrected.
It's over 1,000!
Over 1,000? That's impossible!
All right, and here we go. Tia 2. Looks like we're going to see a lot of the same strats as we saw in Kraken 2. Meanwhile, Sledge getting through Sky. Or Mirage. Picking up his Defender +2.
Mirage, Sky, it's all the same thing unless you want to be pedantic about it.
Very, very true. Especially since our incentive item can roll anywhere between the two.
Yep, which means, well, if you get the cue but no chime, well,
Wow.
doesn't really matter.
Tia 2 did not get the health buff that its brethren did. And we got a couple iron goals for our trouble with Glance, and it missed. That was close.
All right, Krelen's made it through. Now we're about to go deal with Chaos after we do the ritual heal right in front of the final boss just to have a little bit of swagger.
And looks like we're going to go with our fighter lead on this. Black Belt, you've done your job. Hold up that shirt so we can all see it. Hopefully the blinding whiteness of that shirt will cause Chaos to miss you. So we got Power Bonk, Temper, Chaos with Cure 4 right off the bat. Not sure if that's going to work out, but we'll see how it plays out for you.
Well, if he's going to have it, better to get it done first than wait until you're right on the brink of finishing them.
Deciding to go ahead and throw a fast on our Black Belt. Our fighter is getting pumped.
So far, we've seen Cure 4, we've seen Rub. Nothing too drastic yet, but I don't want to say too much more beyond that because knowing me, I'll probably find a way to curse it.
Throwing some Bane at Chaos. It's a bold strategy.
Hey, 3 times out of 256, it works every time.
It's worked before. It can work again. Yes, contrary to popular belief, that 69 damage was not that nice. 1,005 on Chaos, and he goes down. Get your GGs in for Krelen. Wow.
We have an official time of 1:17:21. 1:17:11. I can read. And right afterwards, Sledge did forfeit from the race, so GG's to both our runners. I'll see if we can get one or both of them in here to talk about what they just went through.
All right.
That's fine.
Never joined in the booth by Krellen and Sledge. GG's to the both of you.
Thanks.
GG.
GG to you too.
So that was quite a interesting seed. What did you think of the oh man, who was it that had that? Was it the
Garland?
And
Garland had the damage poison right off the bat.
Oh
Yeah.
Oh,
We
I didn't
watched
get hit
you.
by that.
we watched
I
you
blame
bounce
Caleb for that one.
we watched you bounce off of Garland a couple times, Sledge. What was going through your head?
The first time I didn't see the poison. I was just too annoyed that my controls were off sync, so I had to remap my keyboard. That I didn't see the poison, so I didn't know what killed me. I went for the second time, saw the poison. I was annoyed. Went to Bicky, killed that off, got my tier 3 spells, and just like ran over Garland afterwards.
Yeah, those tier 3 spells really were the difference there. Going from bouncing off of him twice with the second level, and then going over to Provoker, getting your Gal level spells, coming back and just blink and you missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went into Garland, I think at level 3 or level 4. I really, really like taking a fight outside of Corneria if possible. To 1, to get extra charges, 2, to get that little safety extra of health. And I was just able to blast Garland down and have enough charges and check the chests and just keep going through. My problem is I didn't have a weapon to swing.
Yeah, that's another thing we've noticed watching the scene. Decent weapons were at a premium. That Coral +4 is about the only decent thing that we found. I saw
I got the Masa.
Masa -5.
I know, but still, I'm swinging it.
We also saw the X-Cal -5 too on Garland's side.
Yeah, that was awful. I was like, I'm not promoting. Forget this.
There was also a Katana -1 for the record, and
Yeah.
while we still have this going, and you're still in here, Sledge, we just saw you pull the Sun -1 out of Sky 2. Yeah, Sky 2. So that might be the best of the bunch.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still running the seed. I'm just not bothered by it. The rest, I have lost. That's it.
Well, it was a violent fight that you put up. That Garland taking you down like that didn't help. And then we saw you take some grinds on the Gerduces for a bit, which
that helped me push.
definitely got you some more levels to make it through. What did you when you got down to finding the white shirt early? Did you consider possibly looking for the tail for promotion, or was that off the tables when you picked up that Masa?
Promotion, I'm not looking forward to. Well, it's not true. I have decent armor for my fighter upgraded, but I'll go for it if I need it. Otherwise, I didn't find a decent weapon. other than Masa, and even then, it's not really that decent.
Yeah, that Coral +4 was probably one of the saving graces in this seed that we saw.
I
Yeah.
agree to that one. I just power bomb. I mean, I found 3 ribbons, so I wasn't terribly too afraid of anything aside from nuclears, which I did hit a couple of them. That was fine. I took a war mech fight. That was great. I had so much life twos. I didn't care if my team died. I actually preferred if they died because then I could just res them back to full health. It's like, why should I care if they're dead? So I
Exactly.
just kept moving.
It's funny you mentioned Warmech because on our stream with the 10-minute delay, guess who Sledge is fighting right now?
I know. And it was a long fight too.
Oh, well, there goes the nuclear. So,
Yep.
what did when Krelen, when did you decide to not pivot and focus either the fighter or the black belt and decide to just kind of mix the two together and go for it?
Well, there's always that hope of finding that great grind tile, and I couldn't find anything. Everything sucked. Everything either hit too hard, the Gurmanouche's ambushed all the time. It would have been too slow to get I think it was air elementals and fire down. I was like, I'm just gonna level as I go. I'll get a few of them on there to make him at least somewhat effective, and I'll make him a meat tank. I don't care if he dies. I have all these life twos. If he goes down, he goes down. Hey, at least I could have him use the white shirt and just have him as a meat shield. I didn't care at that point. I was just trying to find a weapon, which I never found. But when you power bonk the crap out of a fighter, they are going to destroy pretty much anything.
Absolutely, we saw hits over 1,000.
That was awesome. I was
It
like,
was great. Yeah, that was quite a run. The seed was kind of trolly. Speaking of trolly, we saw the poison spell script come up on several enemies.
Yeah.
And Sledge ran into a troll with it. Garland had it. I think Carrie had it or something. It was everywhere. And ultimately, I think that the both of you fought through it very well, and it was definitely an entertaining scene to watch.
I gave that one my all. That was my best. I didn't make huge mistakes. I went straight through. My plan was at the very worst, if I can't find anything, I have plenty of warps and exits. I can do a little grind in Topher, and it just wasn't needed. I mean, I figured that Sledge was going to be right on my heels, and I needed to go, even though I wasn't fully prepared. But it was okay. Made it through.
Oh yeah, Ice +4 sword. That's kind of decent too.
I never saw that.
I just saw it in my inventory.
And I thought I saw someone pull that early on. I'm like, was that an Ice +4? Did I blink? I don't know. And I never saw it again.
Yeah, I never bothered equipping it.
That would have been great.
Well, I don't have any other questions. Shadow, you got anything else?
No, let's see. We discussed all the poison enemies. We discussed that rough opening game. We discussed the absolute lack of decent weaponry. About the only thing I can think of is, what did you all think of that 6-step fetch quest that ended up in just a power bonk?
It was worth it. I mean, at that point, I was actually hoping to get more crap out of the way just to make leveling and getting that experience a little bit easier. So at the end, getting a power bonk, fantastic. I had nothing. I was like, hey, this is great. And it had a really nice big plus on it. I think it was +4. So that was probably the best gauntlet I could have found in the game.
Absolutely. +4. That we did the math. It was definitely the better gauntlet. Sledge, did you what was besides the Masa, did you find any other gear that really made you feel confident in your grind or to take on the Kraken and carry fights? Because we saw you take on Sledge pretty quick after those Gerduses.
Yeah, once I got a few levels on my on my fighter and I got Damasa, I'm like, okay, I'm just ramming over him. Other than that, no, we had fast early, so that kind of pushed me on going for it.
I guess the last question I have would be party comp decisions, because we saw that you both took a very different composition. Sledge, you went with a fighter rainbow. Why did you choose that?
Um, White mage for the protection of life, black mage for nukes. However, nuke rolled promotion locked, so red mage didn't use it. I used red mage for versatility and also for invis 2, which I never saw again. So yeah, I usually run rainbow or double white mage.
I see. Okay.
Slight spoilers on that. Invis 2 rolled into the second slot at Gaia level 7.
Oh yeah, I don't even bother above level 6.
Krelen, we saw how you handled, and you pretty much gave us an idea of your party comp. But when you started out, what was your ultimate goal with your party?
Well, the the fighter had level 1 magic, and I'm always ready to hit the power button to re-roll and just mash A's and B's for names if I have to. It all depends on that level 1 magic. If it rolls really, really good, I'll re-roll. I mean, you can't have much better than like life 2 or, getting fade and being able to get what you need. Um, so if it turns out that getting a low level mage, or excuse me, white mage is better, then sure, I'll grab it. That's awesome. If not, that's good. But I like the versatility. I usually like the white mage better than a red mage, just because they are going to have that recovery. Um, but with rolling white magic for the fighters for level 1 and it rolling life 2, I'm like, forget it. I don't need anything else. And getting the black belt was just in case I didn't find a weapon, and I really found nothing. But you can always kill off your. I'm sorry, my dog is happy. She's just going nuts. But if you can't find anything and you find a great grind tile, then sure, your black mage is just going to power punch everything. So it gives you that slight backup. And the thief this time just didn't roll anything that I was like, hey, I really want a thief. I love a thief, and it would have been great to have a katana. But in the end, having the black belt as a beef tank, I think worked out well.
I think it did. I got nothing else now. That's it.
Yeah, I've pretty much got nothing else. We've pretty much covered everything that we need to go to. Uh, I know we have a packed schedule tonight in terms of racing, so I don't want to take up too much more of Randomania's time, so we can let everyone else here go on to different races to watch that's still coming up. So if we want to go ahead and go into final thoughts, let's go ahead and start with Krellen, since you managed to take down Chaos and Kraken 2 with the biggest hit I've ever seen come off of a coral sword. What do you got for us?
Oh, thank you so much for all the restreamers, the trackers, the commentating. This is a lot to go through, and it takes a lot out of everyone's day and everyone's time. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much for everyone to be here.
All right, Sledge, what you got for us?
Pretty much the same. Thank you for streaming, commentating, and all that stuff. It takes a lot of work. Also, well, Kraken 2 just took a chop off my head. So I'm not happy with that one.
Hey, spoilers! All right, I'll go ahead and close this out here. So, Nightmare, you got anything final you'd like to add in before we start paying bills and letting people head off?
I just want to say that thanks to everyone who was working on the early problems that we had with our tracker and everything. You guys did great. Thank you. And we still got a little over a week left in these pods. So get excited because it's we're about to see the bracket soon, and that's all I got.
Yep, and I'm going to echo our thanks to Demziran Froziroj, or however he pronounces it.
Demon frogs.
Oh, come on now. He has zeros in his name. You have to pronounce the zeros.
Yeah, okay.
But all jokes aside, he's really the unsung hero of this stream, working to get the tracker situated and get our technical hiccups taken care of. So without people like him in the background, we certainly wouldn't be here doing what we do to try to entertain you. And also thanks to Nightmare for enduring my rather silly commentary for the last hour and a half.
It was a pleasure. I mean, you had to put up with me too, so.
Yeah, well, I already said you've got one of the best nicknames on the server, and I stand by it. So,
well, thank you.
In terms of our upcoming schedule, we've got 4 more races that will be shown tonight. Starting in about 15 minutes or so, a Bicky broadcast over on twitch.tv/Rafe Hates Caleb. That would be Angel against Sunflash Rune in the Ooze pod. At 9:30 on RPG Limit Break is Sir Linkalot against Rubes. That's the Nightmare pod with Luffy DV and Grendy on the commentary. At 10 o'clock, another Bicky stream over on twitch.tv/Dangwoo. This would be Ex-Russian Bishop against Psytown in the Lamp pod. And then finally, at 11 o'clock tonight, it's Puffy against Sho Fukumachi on Randomania 2. And that has DVS7 and Hate 13 on comms. So plenty more action for you tonight as we start this weekend of Great Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament.
That's a lot of good races.
Yeah, you almost need to be 2 or 3 different Light Warriors to be able to catch them all at the same time. Not to mention that we have no fewer than 6 races on Saturday. Our first one is at 3 p.m. and all times that I've listed are Eastern U.S., so adjust your schedules accordingly. And there may be more scheduled throughout the day. With the spring tournament, it's hard to say when things actually come up and when they get scheduled. Sometimes it's on a moment's notice. But just jump into the FFR Discord. There was a link to the schedule there, and you'll be able to see at all times who's racing and when and where. And you can tune in the races of your choice at that point. And I also would be amiss if I didn't say to go ahead and give these 2 a follow for the entertainment that they gave you tonight. I did the command about 2 or 3 minutes ago, so it should still be sitting in the chat. Krelen 107 and Sledge Kalame. I like that name. And, well, I would say to follow the commentators, but you don't want to follow me. I'm kind of boring. So just go follow Nightmare Phoenix. He probably deserves it more.
I mean, I maybe. I don't need it, but if you want to follow, go ahead and give me a follow. I'll do my best to be entertaining.
Okay, I'm gonna drop. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Randomania, for hosting us. I greatly appreciate it. Well, I'll see you guys next week.
All right, take care. And as for us, we're going to go ahead and let Randomania have their 3rd stream back and let y'all get to any of the other races that I just spent a couple minutes rattling off. So for Nightmare Phoenix, I've been Shadowed Flames. We hope you enjoy your Friday evening. Have a good weekend. And remember, never go to Marsh Cave.